Can you tell us a little bit about this particular test and how it might help people with their rekindling of romance and play?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not associated with them, but I just love it so much. It's the Erotic Sexual Blueprint by Miss Jaya. To take the quiz, it's only $17 per person. So it's incredible. I came across it 5 years ago and I took the quiz and it just changed my sexual life.
Let's talk a little bit about hormones. And in your opinion, again, you're not a medical doctor and we're not selling anything, but in your opinion, how has having an understanding of kind of what's going on with you physiologically with your hormones been of benefit as you've navigated, through your 40s and now beyond?
But years ago, I had no idea what was going on with me. I was just confused. My body's off. I'm so confused. What's going on? How is it that sometimes I'm turned on and other times it's just months, nothing is happening? But what I've learned over the years, especially as high achievers, we weren't meant to work long hours. So nowadays women, we're just doing so much. It's the career and taking care of household and running errands. It's a lot. That stress affects our hormones.
What about food, exercise, sleep,
Mhm.
water? Talk to us a little bit in your experience how all of those healthy lifestyle choices kind of help support you and how you're feeling and how you can show up in a partnership with somebody.
Yeah, definitely. I'm mindful of what I eat, but I'm not hard on myself because when you're so hard on yourself, I eat healthy 80% of the time.
Mhm.
And then I indulge too. Because if you're so strict, then you have that constant stress going on. And stress messes up your hormones. So then that's the last thing you want. Getting good quality of sleep, making sure your room is dark. When you don't sleep well, your hormones are off. And besides working out, having some kind of movement, but something you enjoy. All of that, even if you eat healthy and you work out, I really think we also need to de stress. We need to be kind to ourselves and give ourselves time to do self-care, whether that's sitting in quiet for a little bit or journaling or meditating, something, even if it's 15 minutes of quiet time to listen to chill music just for yourself.
Do you have any suggestions for how people can access more play and fun just locally without having to plan a major trip with their partner right now? Maybe resources are tight, but how they could do something that's accessible and attainable just in their own home environment.
A lot of times we think of travel like a big thing. We're going to another country or another state, but we forget what's in our backyard. Even if you just look up touristy things to do in your area, and but if you have to put it on the calendar. I know how I am. If it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. It's so important for yourself and for your relationship because it is novelty too, to do something new with your partner, go explore together.
How often should we be planning fun dates with our partner?
I think that minimum a date every week, one date is essential to a relationship. What people need to understand, you don't need to do like grand things. Sometimes it's just as simple as a blanket in your backyard with some candles, charcuterie board, and some wine, and just phones away. It's some simple. My rule is no phones on dates, period.
When you do that, what have you found kind of comes out of your ability to communicate with your partner?
Yeah, like we just like you truly listen to them. And we also have to be active listeners too. A lot of times when there's a conversation going on, we all do it where you're thinking about what you're going to say. So I think, yeah, again, phone is a distraction, but if you're active listening too, then you're truly paying attention to what your partner is saying because you care.
One of the things that really stood out for me when we had this conversation that kind of led us to having this podcast was just how we can continue to improve our communication with our partner over time and how being open-minded and receptive to new information about ourselves, about our partner can really, play a role into, improving your relationship. How important do you think it is for people to be able to receive and learn new information about themselves and their partner.
Oh, it's so important because we're constantly changing and evolving. The person you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's just we're different. What I really, really, really want is for people to normalize talking about their sex life because there's so many dissatisfied people. And I know it's hard if you've never talked about it, but just having something like, hey, I'd love for us to talk about our sex life and see what can we do to try new things and improve our sex life. And just by asking your partner first, is there anything you ever wanted to try? Let's talk about it versus saying, I want this. Start
Mhm.
with asking them what they want and start the conversation there.
If we were able to normalize talking about our sex life, in a way that was productive and not grotesque and wouldn't get us kicked off of YouTube, what are some other things that we could consider to help normalize this conversation?
Making it fun. Like maybe separately write down things that you want to explore. And maybe you don't know what that is. Maybe you can just Google it and say, new things to explore in the bedroom. I mean, I talk about getting blindfolded so much. It's so simple. When you take away one of your senses, it
Mhm.
enhances the other ones. But now if you blindfold your partner and you're just caressing them, but asking for feedback, do you want, do you want it softer or harder? You're getting to know their body, and it's an exploration. And it's just so fun not knowing what's going to happen. You're so excited.
What's another simple tool that you really like?
Sex toys. Yeah, yeah. Or massage oils and just playing with scents and berries. Bring just berries to the bedroom and just play and laugh. Sex should be fun. Be silly. Have fun. Make it fun.
So, in your opinion, what's important about lube?
Lube is so important because if you don't use lube, then it's going to cause friction, and friction causes micro tears, which is not good for us. But with lube, it's just the glide. It's so important and enhances your better chances of having an orgasm. That's so important to know that when you're about to start your period and when you're ending your period, your estrogen is low, which causes dryness. I've talked to so many women, and that was me, included me. I used to feel bad. I'm like, why am I not naturally lubricated? What's wrong with me? But just to
Nothing.
know that's normal.
We have created edible
Yes,
massage oil for a lot of reasons, because it is truly an edible massage oil. But if you're interested in a natural 2 ingredient solution for this exact situation that we're talking about, I'm going to put a link here so you guys can check
yes.
that out. What about role playing? Because I think that it's another
Oh,
element of it that's in your toolbox of things that are fun. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I love role playing. Just to back up a little bit, women need novelty. What people don't know is women get bored first before men do. Creating novelty, it's so fun. Even if it's just do something simple, you meet your partner at a bar and you pretend you're someone else. Just use a different name. Pretend like they're picking you up at the bar and they're going to buy you a drink. Maybe play a little hard to get. Like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Just have fun with it.
All right. One of the other things that you told me about, which I think is so important to talk about, is just the responsibility that each partner has in order to contribute to the relationship in terms of making it spicy, changing things up, being interested and engaged. Because if either partner kind of checks out and becomes bored or just like things become mundane, both people have to be invested in order to bring the heat back. It's not one person's responsibility. So can you talk to us a little bit about like how you've seen that play out and why that's so important?
I've noticed when we're dating, it's interesting, right? You're courting the person, you're chasing them, you're wowing them, you try new things, and that's what makes it exciting, and that's why it's the honeymoon period. But if you then keep doing the same thing, you're going to the same restaurants, you're having the same meal at same restaurant, and you're not trying anything new, and especially sexually, I know I've been there before where I'm like, okay, I know exactly what the next move is because it's just such a routine. So, take it outside of the bedroom, especially if you don't have kids or get a babysitter. play in the living room and kitchen counter, make it exciting and act like you're college students and just go wild, explore each other.
When you're talking to people and they're like, I'm Nary, I'm bored. What should I do? What are your top three recommendations?
I think communication, be kind about it because you don't want your partner to feel attacked or they feel that, wow, I'm not doing it right. Just start with a compliment too. I love you. I love our sex life but I would love to optimize this.
Any words of wisdom or advice for where people should start if they need to overcome some things that have occurred in the past as a place
Mm,
to get to where they want to go in their relationship?
yeah, definitely. If there's any trauma, especially sexual trauma, we seriously make it a priority because you come out on the other end. It just it helps you in so many aspects of your life, not just sexually, but how you show up and your confidence. And if you've had sexual trauma and your partner doesn't know about it, I really think it's so beneficial to talk to your partner about it so they understand why maybe you get triggered if you're touched a certain way or if you're told certain things that trigger you. I really think that it's so powerful when we talk and communicate. It heals both parties.
Are there any other modalities that you think are particularly important that people should explore or consider if this is part of their sexual journey that they want to heal from?
There are retreats too that help with specifically heal women from sexual trauma. I think finding retreats are important, especially all women retreats too. So you can go there and you just scream and let it out, man. We
Be
got to
safe.
let it out.
Yeah.
When we hold on to trauma, it's just harming us.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience as it relates to rekindling romance and play?
Communicate with your partner, make it normal, normalize talking about sex. It's so important because it's the gift that keeps on giving because it's going to benefit you, benefit them, and make it fun.
And if you guys want to learn more about this test that Nary had mentioned, we're going to put it in the show notes. We'll also have a link posted right here. Thanks so much, Nary.
Thank
Have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you later.